The first speaker is from Thailand. They are presenting the paper on user involvement in applying university design from global to local Thailand context. So please.
Okay, now we will present about user involvement in applying universal design from global to local Thailand context. Good morning, everybody. It is so honored to be here. We are a group of architecture students, bachelor degree, pre-graduate architecture students from Thailand. The main idea of our project is to bring a universal design, which is the global idea, into a local context in Thailand. And the context of this project specifically is, this project is a design contest that we've been doing for several last month, and the design is for the elderly and disabled people. So this will have a limitation of time and money, the budget of the project. And the design is for community member, like for the second place for community people. Local context in Thailand is the site that we pick is in 100 years old market community named Wตะเข. And in this community there is a high population diversity, and that creates the space limitation in the community. And in this community had various kind of people. And saying various kind of people, that means designer wasn't the only one who worked in this project, but we have to bring the community member working together by using user involvement. Saying that we are trying to bring the universal design idea, the global idea of universal design, and with user involvement and bring it to local context in Thailand. The name of this project, ladies and gentlemen, is บ้านต้นมะขาม Community Center at หัวตะเข Community. And this project separated into 3 methods for the progress. So this is the first one.
Thank you, Miss. Well, according to a user involvement journal proposed by Damodaran in 1996, the 3 key strategies of user involvement are informative, consultative, and participation, all of which share the same qualities of giving and taking by both parties of the designers and the community members. Let me go into the first one, which is the informative process. The informative process, the main idea of it is to gain access. And by gaining access, we need to go through a gatekeeper of the community, who is a part of the community and is trusted by everyone. The reason for this is that if you only observe it by your own, you can get only your experiences from the community alone, and you get only the physical data. But by going through with a gatekeeper, you can experience it with the community, you can exchange your opinions, ideas, and understanding with the locals as well. And the next part of the informative process is to use appropriate ways of collecting data, because some of the community's members can't read or write, and some of the community's members can tell us their real requirements because of some limitations in understanding of the words or some technical terms. The informative process, the first stage of our informative process is interviewing, because we need raw data and raw opinions from people, and then we process it into the opinions, into key points of the opinions, and then we use sticky notes in order to let them order of what they really need for this community. And after we have organized the data, we will go into the design, the first stages, which also includes user involvement crucially. So let me go into the following next method.
After we get the first stage, we come back to the community for the brainstorm idea with the community's member because we want to know everyone's needs as possible. And we can learn a lot of technique from the community craftsmen in this method too. In this part, took a lot of time and had many disagreements, such as one of the owner that the house opposite in our side don't want entrances in line with each other because the old Thai belief. So we discussed and adjusted the design by her recommend. The trip that we communicate with the community member is using 3D and isometric. And in this picture, the community craftsman is showing us the technical of the real scale. And this is the example of the local know-how. In this picture, the community craftsman use the platform and manpower to drive the stakes into the mud soil underwater. So finally, we get the design that everyone agree with it in this method. And so what's the next method?
And here is our last process, which is effectively build user sense of belonging, a participation in construction process. We were trying to encourage people participate by flyers, posters telling about Mali art crafting activities and our project news. While we were going to Wtะเข to work, we were making nice relationship with community's members. And here is an activity held in Wtៈเข, mostly with children. We taught children how to make a decoration in บ้านต้นมะขาม and we made things fun like playing with them so they feel more comfortable to join us. Spending time together, community's members become more and more familiar with us, so they please to support and to join our project according to their skill. And for example, a local school provides us a space for working, and women not only provide us a food and water, but also help us to make a decoration in บ้านต้นมะขาม too. Then, men took responsibility for construction by using their local know-how. And one of the most important things is learning from each other. First, we don't know how to build a foundation on the top of canal without a proper machine or something like that. And the community showed us how to do that. And then, the community member didn't know universal design concept, but after working together, they can apply universal design concept with their local know-how into the final construction. And then we will move into a conclusion.
Okay, 1 month later we back to บ้านต้นมะขาม again, and we found that community members still use this place for many activities such as start book charity project, or children come to play and read a book, or they have a Buddhism ceremony in important day. So we conclude from this picture that if designer know and understand unique nature of community members, then community members will feel friendly and ready to cooperate with designer. Finally, we can create space that community want, real want. From this project, we have exchange. In terms of designer gift, we create public space with the community members' sense of belonging and spread universal design knowledge for local people. And what we get, we have chance to adapt universal design in local scale and learn how to get information from local people. Next, in terms of community gifts, they cooperate in every process, like fun and labor, and they give the advantage lesson for us. They receive a new community center, and they know about universal design principle that will be useful in the future. Tip for the next local project. First, use simple way to communicate, such as a picture, like an isometric picture, or such as a two sticky note, or we avoid to using technical term. Second, open mind to learn their lifestyle, their problem, and their belief. All of this quite need time and must be patient, but we will get the real what they want. And finally,
Okay, for the conclusion of the whole project that we have been doing, we learned that the designer cannot work alone, especially in community or local work like this. And user involvement must be used in every process until the brief, until the build, to gather all the real requirements and create the project that the designer and community members agreed. And thank you very much, people. So at the end of our project, this is the final picture that we show you after the build of บ้านต้นมะขาม project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, any questions, comments? Yes. First, give your name, please.
My name is Siripon Peters. I'm from Southwestern Oklahoma State University from the US. I'm not sure this is going to be questions, but maybe comments for your project. I wonder how you evaluate the effectiveness of your project. I know you go in, work with them, and then you leave. I want you to consider, I know you're not going to be there forever because you're students. How can we generate sustaining project? It's not going to be forever, but create positive, sustainable change in the communities is another key factors that we would like you to consider. And effectiveness of your project. What do you want to achieve? How can you tell you achieve it before you leave? Thank you.
Okay. As for maybe this is an advantage of us that we have wตะเข community because this community is very near our university and our town that we can go and visit and revisit how many times as we want. And after the project finished, we come back and create a art project to the community children to make it more and more effective, like go to join with the local school in the community to make the project continue and use our space on doing this. And moreover, before this design come up into the end, we consult the progress with the community leader so that this news can spread wider in the community. So people who just want to use this place as a second place for any purpose, they can come.
Okay, and I would like to add that before we have the finalized design, we were talking with the people, and this might be a bit specific, but there was a museum that was going to be built that was in the progress of planning by the community members that is across this project, which will help as well. And because evaluation process is not something that could do in a short time, it must be a very long-term time. Like she said, we as students of the King Mongkut Institute of Technology ลาดกระบัง which is very near to the community, we try and we have proposed some new projects that will include Wตะเข community and the house as well. I mean the community center as well, so that the constant watching, constant improvement can be done. So I think that we can evaluate it when we observe the ups and downs, the high and lows that the community center goes through the years.
Thank you for the question and comment.
Any more questions, comments? Okay.
Okay, we still have a poster that related to our work on fourth floor, and you can go and have more information about this project at the fourth floor, please. Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.